Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us once again here at Seafried and Brew for our economic briefing. I am Jamie Sumner, Chief Analyst, and for this week's briefing, we just want to look over a couple of the economic releases that have come out over the past couple of weeks, primarily pertaining to the retail sales, inventories, and durable goods. So when we look at retail sales overall, you can see that our retail sales came in at a month-over-month growth of 0.3%. That was matching that consensus of 0.3 as well for that April month. When we look at, however, less autos, we'll find that it also came in at 0.3, which is below consensus at 0.5. You can see how much of the autos was built into the overall retail sales. So when we strip out the autos, we're back down below that consensus, just showing that continual back off in the retail sales starting in the first quarter of this year and then spilling over into the second quarter. So this is the first month of the second quarter. And you can see some of the items that have been declining. Electronics and appliance stores are down by 0.1%. And then we have health and personal care stores down by 0.4%. And then lastly, the sporting goods and hobbies are down by 0.1%. But overall, when we look at the year-over-year numbers, we're still at that 4.7% for overall retail sales. So we continue to see upward momentum in the year-over-year numbers. Interestingly, when we look at retail sales at a kind of a different fashion, comparing the total retail sales growth in the first quarter of 2018 to the e-commerce, it's kind of interesting. We saw this pull off, which we saw in the GDP when that came out. The growth rate in the first quarter of 2018 was 0.2%, down from where we were in the fourth quarter at 2.7%. You can see that big pull off. But interestingly, the e-commerce sales were actually up. We had the fourth quarter growth at 2.3% and the first quarter growth in 2018 at 3.9%. So we see that continual upward momentum in that e-commerce. And for the first quarter, that e-commerce amount is a total of 9.5% of overall retail sales. So we can see it continues to increase as we move along, and that's projected to do so for some time. When we look at the inventory side of it, total business inventories came in flat. We were at zero change month over month between March and February. And then we can see how that came down from 0.6, that changed from January to February, and then 3.8% when we look year over year, changing from March of 2017 to March of 2018. But when we look at the retailers, though, retailers' inventory actually declined by 0.5% in here. So we can look at this and say there might be a little bit of an adjustment on the inventory side when the GDP comes out this week. That second release or second estimate of the first quarter GDP coming out this week. So we should see a little bit of an adjustment on the inventories as well as the retail sales side. When we look at durable goods, we can see durable goods, new orders down 1.7% when we look from the March to April time frame, and the February to March, it was up 2.7%. So we can see this continual decline in these durable good orders, stripping out the transportation, and we can see that flips from a negative change to a positive change in that April to March time frame. And we can see the new orders ex transportation up 0.9%. So we have the ex transportation beating estimates, which was at that 0.6% change. However, overall, the total new orders came in just shy of that estimate at that estimate of a negative 1.2% change. That's what we have for you today. Looking at the economy, kind of some adjustments, nothing that was extremely different than we anticipated, but we do have some movements, maybe to a little on the softer side in here for moving into the second quarter. But we'll keep you updated on these economics throughout the month and throughout the remainder of the year. Look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great week, and hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend.